What's up, guys, and welcome to the Tim's Sports Talk. We have some Monday night football. New Orleans Saints versus the new Las Vegas Raiders. First home game for Las Vegas. No fans, but they pull out the win 34-24 over the Saints. And this is a classic case of one team doing everything to lose the game and the other team doing everything to win the game. Okay? Big things right off the bat. New Orleans, 10 penalties for 129 yards. Vegas, 3 penalties for 13 yards. Huge disparity. Las Vegas, 36 minutes of time of possession. Saints, 23, just under 24 minutes of time of possession. Time of possession is huge. You have third down efficiency for Las Vegas. 10 for 17. Unbelievable clip. 2 for 2 on fourth down. It's not even like the Saints really, like, as far as a actual team on the field and what they were able to do, they played pretty good. You have 312 yards and a touchdown by Drew Brees, 26 of 38. Not terrible. Kamara ran the ball fantastic. 13 carries for 79 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also, he caught 9 passes for 95 yards. But Derek Carr just led this team. You had Josh Jacobs with 27 carries for 88 yards, which is around like 3.3 yards per carry. Nothing spectacular. But you have Derek Carr, 28 for 38. 282 yards and 3 touchdowns. And those 10 of 17 on third downs were overwhelming majority him. He was huge on third down. Raiders were able to stay ahead of the sticks, or stay ahead of the chains or whatever, by meaning they were constantly getting third and shorts. And Derek Carr was able to hit the open man consistently, and the number one open man for him was his tight end, Darren Waller. 12 catches, 103 yards, and a touchdown. You can see that it's less than 10 yards a catch. It's not like he had any explosive plays with those 12 catches, but he was just consistently getting 5 to 10. His long was 18 on the day. He had 16 targets. But Derek Carr threw to 11 different people today, and a lot of them. Nelson Aguilar's 1 catch for 19 yards came on a 3rd and 3. You have Zay Jones' 1 catch for 15 came as a touchdown on 3rd and long. Like, it's, I can't even remember everybody else, but yet Henry Ruggs was only 1 catch for 4 yards. I believe that came on a 3rd down. He was throwing it all over the place for 3rd downs efficiency. Sports fan all day says, I'm so happy the Raiders won. You know, I bet on the Saints. I thought the Saints were going to win this game because the Las Vegas Raiders came in without both of their right tackles. So they had a right tackle, their Dwayne Brown, I believe. He was injured, and then their backup was injured. And then on top of that, their left guard was injured after a couple of, within the first half. So I thought the Saints defense with Cameron Jordan and DeMarco, what's his face, Smith or whatever, DeMarco Davis. Or Demario Davis. Got it. But I thought they would be able to put some pressure on Cameron Jordan, on Derek Carr without that offensive line. And they did. Derek Carr just was fantastic, and he had time. It's crazy. Sports fan all day, because we might be fighting against the Saints to get into the playoffs. Hey, we always can go for the positive looks. That would be a very interesting thing. I think that the Saints, once they get Michael Thomas back, and as I said, they didn't play bad. They're just right now committing so many penalties. They're the only team with more than 200 yards of penalties right now. That is insane. That's unbelievable. You really cannot do that. Drew Brees had a costly pick right before the half. They were actually up 17-7, and then they allowed the Raiders to score a touchdown right before half. They got the ball back, threw an interception, and allowed them to get a field goal, so it was a 10-point swing. And then the Raiders got the ball first in the third quarter, and then they come back and score again. It was a 17-point swing after that 1 interception by Drew Brees. Killer. Very, very killer there. What else we got here today? The time of possession. On the time of possession, the Raiders had 4 TD drives of 9 or more plays. Just marching down the field on the Saints. Just it was incredible. And as I said, they weren't even really doing it with the run game. At one point, there was Josh Jacobs was 19 carries for 52 yards, which isn't anything to scoff at. And let me tell you, Josh Jacobs looks really, really good. That was the best 19 carries for 52 yards you'll probably ever see, because he looked quick. He looked really clean. He had good vision. He was making people, like, breaking tackles, running through people. Josh Jacobs is the real deal. I'm sure most of you know that. They put up the stat of he had the most, out of this first 15 games, the most yards by any Raider in history, including over Bo Jackson and, wow, why did that other running back just go out of my head? Oh my God. Marcus Allen. Thank you. Famous running back. Sports fan of the day. I think it was just bad coaching by Sean Payton. I mean, can you blame the coaching at this point when you are having a good drive? As I said, their numbers efficiently wise per play. What did they have per play? I think it was actually pretty darn good. Okay, it wasn't fantastic. 7.4. That might be including penalty plays. But you would have a good drive going, and then 2 penalties later, you have a 1st and 30 or something crazy. And as I said, after that one interception by not Sean Payton, Drew Brees, you had 17 points unanswered basically because of that one pick. You had a touchdown by the Raiders, pick, field goal right before half, come out of half, and Raiders score a touchdown. That went from 17-7 to 24-17 with one possession for the Saints, and it was a bad pick by Drew Brees. Sean Payton, it was interesting. You could say it was probably more, it was just better coach. He was out-coached, but was Sean Payton basically bad, or was John Gruden just really, really good today? Really good play calling on the offensive side on third down, especially. They really, really played well on third and short. They had the Saints on their back heels all day. Darren Waller was amazing today. So I will say that I think John Gruden outcoached Sean Payton, but I don't necessarily think I would say Sean Payton coached poorly today. It was really good by the Raiders, and penalties killed him. And Alvin Kamara is just a monster. 13 carries, 79 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was running away from people, just getting the corner on everybody. So Kamara is just such a beast. 9 catches, 95 yards out of a running back. What is that? A total of 174 yards on the day. Fantastic, fantastic player. Let's see here. Spoiled AFib Gaming. Our defense was trash. We lack inconsistent every single week, and time of possession was a huge factor. Completely agree. I mentioned it earlier in my show. Time of possession was absolutely killer. I don't know what was going on with the defense was amazing, especially after losing 3 offensive linemen. You would think that they could get pressure. Cameron Jordan was a non-factor today, basically. The defense and the secondary was horrific. And I have to mention this. As I said, all credit to the Raiders. The Raiders played a great game today. But what happened to an uncatchable ball for pass interference? What happened to that? Because that last PI on Henry Ruggs was an uncatchable ball. Derek Carr just had pressure, and he threw it as far downfield as he could. Even with that arm hook, it was PI. I agree it was PI. But it wasn't a catchable ball to begin with, so why did they call PI and let that hold? I thought that was a very weird call. But nonetheless, as I said, the Saints did everything to lose this game. Raiders did everything to win this game, and Raiders got the win 34-24. I guess that's true. Spoiled day for the refs don't always follow the rules. That's what I believe. As far as that last play, I think that they messed up. Sports fan all day. I wish Jay Gruden could take some consideration from his brother coaching. Yeah, I like Ron Rivera. So you know what? I'm glad Jay Gruden's gone, and I'm glad that he was a bad coach so that we got Ron Rivera, because I'm liking what Ron Rivera is doing so far. So that's good. Let's see here. He had 10 penalties for 129 yards. That's unbelievable. How about Jalen Richard? Jalen Richard fumbles, has a huge fumble. Did he only have 2 carries on the day? Yeah, he had 2 carries on the day. 2 carries on the day. And they were huge plays. One was horrific, the first one, where he had the ball and he fumbled it and gave the Saints the ball, but only down by 7. The Raiders ended up holding. But then he came back the next drive on 3rd and 10 and has a 26-yard touchdown. Like, Jalen Richard, what? Only two plays and had a huge mark on this game. That's incredible. Spilled 8-Fib Gaming. In my eyes, this scared me because I love the Saints, but one thing we lack every game, we are not consistent at all. We lock up a team one week, I guess he's trying to say. Comma E. Next let up 40 points, which is not good for playoffs. Oh, one game. Okay, that makes more sense. Thank you. Sports fan all day. Kamara had a great game. He deserved that contract. I agree. I don't like paying a running back a lot of money, but he does so much more for your offense than just a running back. He does everything, and he's just running away from linebackers. I completely agree. I love Kamara, and I think how much did he end up getting? 16, 17 mil per year? I think he's so big for their offense. I agree that he was worth the money to pay him specifically. I think running backs can be a dime a dozen typically, but he is that good. But the Saints, as far as inconsistent, they are weird in the playoffs because they've always had a really good team. I thought they had a fantastic team last season, defensively and offensively, obviously offensively. But they end up losing to, I believe, Minnesota of all teams, lose to the Kirk Cousins? Don't lose to Kirk Cousins. Don't do that. Stop. but they also lost to Case Keenum on that unbelievable play. They also have some weird stuff. They should have beat the Rams, the obvious one. So they also just have some bad luck. But the Saints are really, really good. They'll bounce back. I think they'll probably still finish with like 11 wins. Breeze didn't play that good. He had that one back pick, and he did have another one, really bad throw that I remember. But overall, I think he played okay. I mean, Sanders had a drop, 26 for 38. What's the average on that? 26 for 38. I mean, that's a decent percentage. 26 to 38. I mean, 68% completion. That's not bad. 312 yards for a touchdown. That's not bad. Like, he did, as I said, he had that horrible pick right before half, so that was really bad. We must do something about Davenport because we never healthy. You can see I'm a Redskins fan. Don't have to talk to me too much about never being healthy. One of the most injured teams in the NFL consistently. So Michael Thomas being hurt, obviously hurt. That stinks. I have him in one of my fantasy leagues as well. So I have Michael Thomas and Devontae Adams both hurt right now. Yay, my first and second round picks gone. But that's in one league. I have 4 leagues, so way too many in my opinion. Don't do 4 fantasy leagues. Just looking here. Anything else stand out in this game? Malcolm Jenkins had a bad day. He got ran over. I think it was even by Devin Booker. Or what's his name? Not Devin Booker. Is his name Devin Booker, like the basketball player? Is Booker's name actually Devin? No, Devontae Booker. I was about to say, he's not the basketball player. Let's see here. Sports fan all day. I felt like the Raiders just felt like they had to win the game because it was their first home game in their new stadium. I hope they feel like they have to win the game every week. I don't think that is. I think they just played fantastic. They did. They really did. Darren Waller's a beast. They could not cover. They tried to double cover him all game, and they just couldn't do anything about it. And I can't stress this enough. 10 penalties for 129 yards. 10 penalties for 129 yards. One more time. 10 penalties for 129 yards. You can't have that many penalties. That's Redskins level penalties. Spoiled AFib Gaming. Next week, we will bounce back because this hurts. Their pride is a defense which makes them play way better. And sorry about the spelling. I'm typing fast. You're good, Spoiled. You can slow down. I don't have a big chat, so you're good. You don't have to talk too fast or type too fast. Washington diehard fan. Wow. The Raiders just played so good today. They were wow. And Derek Carr was wow. You know, Josh Jacobs is beast, but Derek Carr played so good today. He deserved this win. He played, especially because it says here, 3 sacks for 23 yards, and 2 of those sacks came on the first drive, and they were bad. I wrote it down here. Terrible sack by Carr. They end up also, I think, getting a holding penalty on that same play because he steps back and he just sits back there forever and lets I think it was literally probably 5 seconds, and he just lets the pocket collapse on him and gets a sack. Like, they were talking about how it was this huge cover sack. That is unbelievable bad. And then the very next play, he gets another sack. That was on the first drive. After that, 1 sack probably for a short amount of yards because those 2 sacks probably were 14 of them, 15 of them. So very, very interesting as far as that. Sports fan all day, but this ain't the normal Raiders team we will usually see. I don't know about that, to be honest. I think the Raiders are a decent team right now. I don't think defensively they're that good. I think offensively the Saints shot themselves in the foot. But offensively, I think they're pretty good, and they're going to get probably better offensively as long as Derek Carr continues to play like he did. Maybe that'll come down. But they have some young receivers. This Brian Edwards looks huge. He's listed 6'3", 215. Out there, he looks like 6'5", 240. I mean, he looks huge compared to those small DBs. He's going to be interesting to look for. And then obviously Henry Ruggs. Henry Ruggs. That's it. Let's see here. Sportsfit. Their defense is garbage. I agree. I don't like their defense that much either. I really don't. Let's see here. I know, what's his name? Clellan Ferrell. He's decent. Let's see around here. They like that Abram character. I'm not nearly as caught up on my defenses as I am the offenses. I'm a big fantasy football guy that just plays team defense. So I know that overall the defense is not very good. But as far as players, I know that Ferrell was drafted really high. I think they drafted him number 4 overall. Max Crosby. Yeah, he had a big deflection right there at the end. That was huge. What the Saints did wrong was bad execution for the defense. Yeah, they did. It was absolutely bad execution and a heck of a lot of penalties. As I said already, multiple times. I'm becoming a broken record about it already. You can't have 129 yards of penalties. But, yeah, it was really, 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 really bad as far as you can't knock yourself back to 1st and 30 or 2nd and 31, whatever it was. It was absolutely terrible. They also just didn't have anything going besides Kamara in the pass game. Tre'Quan Smith did have 5 catches for 86 yards, but really it was just those 2. I know Montgomery had a drop. I mean, Sanders had a drop. He didn't have his first catch until like the last drive. It's very, very, very bad to see for Emmanuel Sanders. But the Saints will bounce back. This was a fluke for performance by the Saints. But I do think the Raiders showed actually some really good promise. I like this. I like what the Raiders showed today. Let's see. Well, that might be true. I didn't catch that, but you might absolutely be right. With Sanders was open a lot, and you'll see on the film that Drew needed to trust him more. That might absolutely be true. I have because 1 catch for 18 yards on Emmanuel Sanders does not seem right. That seems very, 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 very odd for me. So I don't know why he was such a non-factor all game. As I said, his only catch was the last drive of the game. So that's very odd to see. It's not like the Raiders have some unbelievable corners that are shut down corners or anything. It's very odd to see that. Let's go Raider Nation. Luke Chavez. I guess you got a Raider fan here. He's excited, as you should be. This was a big, big, big win for you. He says I'm juiced. You should be. If you're a Raiders fan, you should be. This was a big, big win, a statement win, and you didn't even need like Josh Jacobs had 27 carries for 88 yards. Josh Jacobs could easily average 4 yards a carry. If he does that, that's what 100 and 111. Yes, thank you. I love my Sean Taylor jersey. Rest in peace. Fantastic player for us. Everybody knows him, but yes, it's my favorite. It's my game jersey. That's the one I wear to games when they allow us in the stadium. But the Saints, I'm assuming you were talking about the Saints. The Saints were stuffing the run. Absolutely. As I said, Josh Jacobs at one point was 19 for 52, averaging 2.7 yards a carry at one point. I don't know if that was at the point. Is 19 for 52? I know I did this at one point. 52 divided by 19. Yep, 2.73 yards per carry at one point in the third. I had the Saints winning. I know that you guys had two right tackles out, and I thought that the defense could get pressure all day on Derek Carr, but that turned out to be completely wrong because they put no pressure on Derek Carr. Like I was just saying, 3 sacks or 23. 2 of those sacks came on the first drive. After that, you saw 1 sack the rest of the day. So I had the Saints winning this game just because I thought that they would be able to shut him down. And also, I think the offense proved that they had a lot more in the tank, but penalties killed their drives. But yeah, 26 for 38, 312 yards and a touchdown from Drew Brees is not horrible by any stretch of the imagination. And then you had 13 carries, 79 yards, and 2 touchdowns out of Alvin Kamara. Their offense could have won that game. All right, we got spoiled gaming again. Sean Payton need to get him better plays for Sanders running curls, drags, and slants is not how you use them. We need to give him the Brandon Cooks and Lance. Give him the Brandon Cooks and Lance more routes. I think Emmanuel Sanders can run any route. I like Emmanuel Sanders. I think you could put him anywhere. So it's extremely odd. I would lean more to what you said before, as Drew Brees was not finding him. Might be more of the case because he did have that drop in the first half, so maybe he wasn't looking his way as much. But the Emmanuel Sanders is a good receiver that can do just about everything. Luke Chavez, if Michael Thomas was here and they need to be more disciplined, too many flags, sums it up pretty good. I mean, you have Drew Brees' safety valve and Michael Thomas could find him just about any slant time at any time in the game that you want, and he didn't have him today. And the number one receiver was Traquan Smith, 5 catches, 86 yards, and then after that, the next one was Ty Montgomery for 25 yards. That's pretty bad. Waller did go off. I mentioned it already earlier, but Waller is a monster. I haven't watched a lot of Raiders games personally, and I knew that Waller was a good fantasy tight end, so I haven't watched much of Waller, but watching him tonight, he is a really, really good tight end. That stadium, though, it's low on my priority list to look at the stadium, but it is a new stadium. I know that I saw somebody in my group chat mention it, but good for them, and I think they put a lot into that stadium. I think they spent the most on their stadium to date. So I'm sure it is a really nice stadium. But you got to be careful because the Atlanta stadium was so good, and apparently that actually hurt the Falcons because they lost their 12th man because they made the stadium so entertaining. There was so many people outside of their seats. So you got to make sure that you have people in the seats because the 12th man is really, really important. Spoiled gaming. I was looking at his film. Sanders loves post crosses and double move routes. So I think we need to give him more of those. I don't disagree with anything you just said, besides the fact that I think that Sanders could run just about any route. I think he could be everywhere. I know San Francisco last year, they used him all sorts of ways, and he was extremely effective for when they needed him. And obviously, back when he was either in Denver or Pittsburgh, he could be anywhere on the field. So I liked Emmanuel Sanders a lot. Luke Chavez, our defense needs to improve, but they did get better. We're still a long way from a championship team. Defensively, I agree. You guys definitely need to get better if you want to be a championship team. But offensively, if these younger receivers start to hit with obviously Edwards and Ruggs, and then also Aguilar's not young, but he couldn't do anything in Philly, but he still could be a decent third receiver for y'all. And then you have Darren Waller. Josh Jacobs is a premier running back. And Derek Carr really showed some good stuff today. I liked what I saw from him. Sports fan all day. It costs some $5 billion and is the most expensive team to date. Yeah, I thought I heard something along those lines. Luke Chavez, the pass rush need to show up. I don't think Drew Brees was under that much pressure today. I think he played decently. He had that bad pick. I think he played well enough to win the game. It's just penalties. Gaming. I say draft a pass rusher from the draft to be a championship team. Talking about the Saints or the Raiders? I think he's talking about the Raiders, I think. Draft a pass rusher. Yeah, because who's your top pass rusher right now? Yeah, Drew Brees was sacked 0 times today. 0 times. So Drew Brees was not necessarily under duress today. He had a couple bad throws, but I think he played well enough to win. Luke Chavez, I just agree with you on Aguilar. I think he's super underrated. Did I say he was? I said that I think he could still be decent. I think he was bad in the Eagles, and I think he could still be a decent receiver for you guys, especially at number 3 behind Edwards and Ruggs. So unless you meant to say super overrated, but I don't think we disagree here. Time we got. I'm gonna get off here soon. I gotta be up for work in the morning. Be up from about 5 hours. Thanks, Luke. I appreciate it. I'm going to be here after every primetime game talking, and I also come here after the Redskins game to talk about the Redskins. And then I am me and my dad do a podcast every Tuesday to talk about the Redskins. But yeah, I'm going to be here after every primetime game, so Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday night. I appreciate it. Thank you guys both for the sub, and I hope you guys join me here. I'll be here, as I said, every Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday night to talk about whatever game it is. Sports fan all day. Wizards. Yeah, we won't be talking about the Wizards anytime soon. Oh, the Wizards. God love them. All right, guys. Come see us tomorrow night, 7 p.m. We're going live with me and my dad talking about the Redskins, what went wrong on Sunday against Arizona, and then also what we're going to do against the Browns. And till next time, see ya.